Connor McDavid recorded 0 points through 3 consecutive playoff games against the 7th-seeded Anaheim Ducks, marking his longest pointless streak of his entire postseason career. The reigning 138-point scorer and 6-time Art Ross Trophy winner has been held off the scoresheet while Edmonton falls behind 2-1 in their first-round series. During Game 2 on April 23rd at Rogers Place, McDavid became entangled with teammate Matthias Ekholm during a collision with Anaheim's Ian Moore. The contact caused his right leg to buckle, and he immediately exited to the locker room. Oilers beat reporter Ryan Rashad described what happened next. When he came back, he was a little bit tentative for a couple of shifts. This clearly was bothersome to him. He really stumbled his way off the ice and ends up leaving for a little bit. McDavid returned to the game but showed visible caution. According to Rashad, he was certainly tentative his first few shifts. The concerning moment? A power play turnover that directly led to a Ducks shorthanded goal occurred during one of those early shifts after his return. Dr. Harjus Gruel analyzed the play and diagnosed mild inward stress to McDavid's ankle, predicting no missed games. Post-game footage showed McDavid walking without a limp and even barefoot in the locker room during media availability. When asked about the injury, McDavid downplayed the severity. "I just rolled up on it a little bit. It's fine." Head coach Chris Noblau confirmed before Game 3. "Even if he does have something, it still looks like he's flying around. He's able to play and yeah, he's good." However, one Oilers analyst rejected the injury excuse entirely. He was making these same boneheaded decisions in Game 1. "I know the ankle injury is going to be a factor for him, but I don't think it's the reason why." McDavid entered the 2026 playoffs with 48 goals, 90 assists, and 138 points in 82 regular season games. He ranks as the third highest points per game player in NHL playoff history, trailing only Wayne Gretzky and Mario Lemieux. Through 2 games against Anaheim, 0 goals, 0 assists, -2 rating. Game 1 resulted in a 4-3 Edmonton victory, but marked the first time all season the Oilers won without McDavid recording a point. Game 2 brought a 5-3 loss and even more concerning play. This represents only the 23rd time in McDavid's playoff career he's been held pointless in a game. His record in those games? 7-16. Rashad witnessed unprecedented struggles. "We're seeing uncharacteristically lots of turnovers. Power play entries where the puck's getting turned over. Plays where he hits the blue line, and it's just not quite working out." Official NHL statistics credited McDavid with 3 giveaways in Game 2, though analysts watching believed the actual number was higher. One observer noted, "Only 3 giveaways listed by NHL.com? That feels light on that number." An Oilers Nation analyst delivered a scathing assessment. "Connor McDavid just turned over pucks left, right, and center and just belligerently tried to skate through players. It was an almost shocking performance. It was unlike we've seen Connor McDavid play in the playoffs." The most damaging sequence came late in the second period. With Edmonton on the power play, McDavid made a blind cross-ice pass in his own zone. Alex Killorn intercepted and fed Ryan Poehling for a short-handed goal, extending Anaheim's lead to 4-2. One analyst called it one of the worst sequences I've seen on their power play in a number of years. Edmonton entered the series with the NHL's best power play at 30.6%. Anaheim finished the regular season 23rd in power play percentage and struggled defensively on the penalty kill. The projected special teams advantage for Edmonton has completely flipped. Edmonton's power play: 0-4-6 through 2 games. Anaheim's results: 3 power play goals, plus 1 shorthanded goal. Knobloch identified this as his primary concern. When questioned about the power play failures, McDavid explained, "You got to remember, Leon Draisaitl's just back after quite a bit of time off. Zach Hyman is just back after missing some time. They did not spend much time together towards the last 10 games of the season or so," he continued. "People forget that Leon's just back and Hyman's just back. As good as the power play is, it's still a work in progress. It's not just a light switch." The statistics support McDavid's point. With Draisaitl in the lineup during the regular season, Edmonton's power play operated at 31.9%. Without him late in the year, it dropped to 23.5%. Rashad challenged this reasoning. "They have tons of time together, tons of experience together. This group knows how to be successful, they're just misfiring. McDavid did say he felt they had a few looks that he didn't mind. They're just missing and just misfiring. The Ducks, meanwhile, have converted at a 60% clip, 3-4-5, with the man advantage, a stunning turnaround from their regular season performance. Anaheim deployed a specific countermeasure. Their fourth line, centered by 24-year-old Jet Washi with Jeffrey Veal and Ian Moore on the wings, has been assigned to shadow McDavid before Game 3. Washi outlined the strategy. It's a team thing first and foremost. He's on the ice against all of us. It's an effort, and it takes everyone on the ice, and we have to be aware and try to make it as frustrating as possible for him. The Ducks have implemented a 1-1-2 defensive coverage, stacking the blue line and eliminating the gaps McDavid typically exploits with his speed. Noblauk acknowledged Anaheim's effective game plan. Usually, he is able to gain the zone without much resistance, but Anaheim did a good job of stacking the blue line and limiting the gaps for McDavid to attack. An analyst described the systematic approach. They would bracket him well. He would try to flip passes. They weren't direct. They got broken up. They led to turnovers and rushes the other way. It nullified momentum. Another observer noted, they did a great job making it hard for us to get into the zone. Usually, Connor's making those plays. The other night, they were able to get their sticks on pucks. The discipline has been remarkable. Anaheim isn't chasing McDavid around the ice or taking penalties trying to slow him down. They're executing structured, patient hockey and forcing him into low-percentage plays. Game 3 at Honda Center, Anaheim's first playoff home game in 8 years, ended 7-4 for the Ducks. The hosts dominated in front of a raucous crowd, taking a 2-1 series lead. McDavid's scoreless streak extended to 3 games, establishing a career-worst playoff drought. Connor Ingram allowed 8 goals through the first 2 games, and the struggles continued in Game 3. When asked about a potential goalie change, Rashad explained, "I think they'll stick with Connor Ingram. He very clearly won the starter job in the back 30 games of this season. Has he been spectacular? No. Has he been a problem for them? I don't think that's been the case either." Rashad noted defensive breakdowns contributed to several goals. Shots from through screens. Plays where Ingram was looking one direction while the puck traveled another. He also mentioned quite a gap between Ingram and their backup towards the end of the regular season. Teams that take a 2-1 series lead win approximately 70% of the time. In the Connor McDavid era, Edmonton has never lost a playoff series when they win Game 3, but they didn't win Game 3. They were demolished. Noblauk addressed McDavid's mental state. "I think he's putting a lot of pressure on himself. He wants the team to do well. He's a leader, and usually when we have success, he's a big part of that." One analyst suggested McDavid is pressing. "I just think he's forcing things, almost trying too hard to make these big plays out of nothing." Game 4 takes place April 27th in Anaheim. If the Ducks win, they'll hold a commanding 3-1 series lead and move to the brink of completing one of the biggest playoff upsets in recent memory. McDavid and the Oilers face elimination scenarios they never anticipated. Draisaitl and Hyman continue working back to full health, but time is running out for Edmonton's championship window. One analyst remains confident in McDavid's ability to respond. This could easily come. Game 3 could come out with a nice 3-4 point performance and none of us would be surprised. Another echoed that sentiment. I'm sure that's not going to last very long either. The NHL's best player is experiencing his worst playoff stretch. Whether injury, mental pressure, or Anaheim's defensive mastery deserves primary credit remains debatable. What's certain, Connor McDavid must break through in Game 4, or Edmonton's season could end in stunning fashion.